All right, now we're live. That probably ended up on the audio, but here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to your favorite podcast.
Riffin with Griffin, yeah.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Riffin with Griffin.
Riffin with Griffin.
Riffin with Griffin, yeah.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Riffin
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Riffin with Riffin. On today's episode, we start a little late, but there's a new SAG deal, so that's exciting. You know, I talk about my electric car all the time. Before, I used to take these trips to San Diego. I got to tell you about my trip in my Lucid. And there's a new Warzone Call of Duty. Erik Griffin Gaming. You can find out about, I game all the time. But anyways, news and notes, plus all that. Oh, Riffin with Griffin. All right, Riffin with Griffin, and we're back once again. Welcome, everybody. Let me put this on Do Not Disturb so I can keep it plugged in. Hi, guys. What's going on? Welcome back to Riffin with Griffin. Doing it on my new computer. Actually, I'm also using Chrome today. I just want to test that out. So we're doing that. Thanks for catching me live. Running late today. I'll tell you why. But in the meantime, guys, make sure you subscribe. Hit that subscribe button, y'all. Hit that Twitch follow button, y'all. Hit that Twitch follow. If you could be a subscriber, you could be a YouTube member, or you could be a Patreon member if you just want to support the show. I appreciate all that support helps. That's great. So, yeah, man. I do appreciate that. Today, you know what I'm gonna put out today, because as you know, I got a baby on the way, and there's always stuff about Target. Y'all know how y'all always talking trash about Target. Well, the haters do. So if you want to contribute and help out you want to do your part, you appreciate me or whatever it is like that. In today's description of the show, our Target registry is now available. Let me make sure I put that in there. So on today's episode, if you would like to, buy something for baby Griff, there's our registry right there. So, wait, I can't, you know what? I got to ask Rachel something first. Wait, I just realized, she has because we haven't really revealed what the name is going to be yet. So, and I realized that on the Target registry, there's you know what? I'm not going to put it. So you guys, in live time, I'm not doing this. Probably next week I'll do it. I'll ask her about it and see if she wants to do that. Because I realize in the name of the registry is like the baby's name or type of thing. So I don't know if she wants to do that yet. But yeah, we do have a Target registry just for all the Target haters. So yeah, man. Welcome back to Riffin with Griffin. Today's episode is brought to you by DoorDash, guys. Brought to you by DoorDash, a great sponsor of the show, ready to deck your doorsteps with savings. Order now and enjoy holiday savings with DoorDash. Use code RWG Holiday to get 50% off up to $10 value when you spend $15 or more at convenience stores, grocery stores, or select retail stores on DoorDash. That's code RWG Holiday. Terms apply. Try it out. You got nothing to lose. If you have never used it, use it now. Get that $10 value right now, man. That's $10 goes a long ways in this day and age. So thanks to DoorDash being a sponsor of the show. Thanks for everybody in chat. The people that are in chat live, I appreciate you guys there. Yeah, you know what? Let me make this bigger so I can see. There we go. So we're back. Yeah, we're here. I'm gonna take my headphones off today because I don't need to have the headphones on when I'm doing my podcast all the time. Just when I'm doing the music and stuff like that, or if I'm listening to something. So yeah, let's do it like this. So welcome back to Riffin with Griffin. What's going on? So I went to San Diego. I was at the Grand Comedy Club in Escondido, San Diego area. Shout out to the Adam, the owner of that. Had a great time this weekend. Fun times. But listen, this is why I want to get into this. Oh, I should do my comments and stuff first, but whatever. Let's just get into this. I'll get into this and then we'll go to comments. So before you guys, I talked about it for years. I've had like numerous episodes on the podcast where I talk about, I had a Jaguar I-Pace. You know, the Jaguar I-Pace, great car at the time. It's still a great car, but it only went 271 miles, and it wasn't a true 271 miles. I would say that, it was probably more like you could go 200 miles, really. Air conditioning, all this kind of stuff that plays a factor into electric cars. And in that particular car, it really, really, really affected it. So I would drive to San Diego. Then you get to San Diego, and boy, it's a hassle. You got to find a charge place just to drive around a lot, make sure you're okay. And then coming home, you got to find a charge. And the last time I did it, I drove home and I barely made it. It was a whole hassle. I had to pull off the freeway, and then the car went into save mode, and I'm driving down the street 5 miles an hour. I just made it into Electrify America, and my car was at 0, which you're not supposed to do. So just the range anxiety on that. So cut to my new car that I got a Lucid. So I have a Lucid Air Touring, and shout out to Lucid and all the people at Lucid, at the service center and stuff where I picked up my car and all that. Everybody was great, and Derek and the people that I talked to, they're great. So now I'm excited. So I get Rachel and I say, hey, she's going to come with me. The owner of the place had us staying at this nice golf resort in the area. So I get in my car and I'm thinking, okay, so right now, when you first get a Lucid, you don't get the max range that is listed yet. You have to drive the car for some time, and then the battery gets better over time. I don't know why it works like that, but it just does. So if I do a full charge on my car right now, I get 375 miles. That's what it says on the thing. So you do a full charge. I usually do like 80%, so it'll be like 336 miles or something like that, 80, 90%. So anyways, I get in the car. We drive to San Diego. It's great. Great drive. We get there. I don't really have to drive around a lot. But then like the last night we were there, I'm driving to the show, which is like 25 minutes away, 25 minutes back, and then, the car says, I have like 200 something miles left on the car. Now, the last time I was in that situation was with my Jag, and I didn't make it. Crazy. Cause it's not even 200 miles to get back to LA, but it just, all depends on how fast you're driving and everything like that. So with San Diego, I'm doing my driving, and then we're going to drive back, and I go, should I go charge? I go, no, let's check it out. I start driving home. I use the highway assist, which is like they don't have the full autonomous driving yet like the Teslas do, which, by the way, I don't even think they're really supposed to have. I don't believe that it's actually that. I don't know. I think Elon did something. He paid somebody off or got some kind of special deal, but like, because the other guy had like a new Tesla. So I had a new Lucid. He had a new Tesla. And he was driving me in the Tesla, and he was showing me the drive. Like the car was like stopping at stop signs and making left turns and switching lanes. And the car was doing it all by himself. And I was like, I didn't think that was legal yet, really. I don't even know. I don't know how Tesla is able to do that. I got to do some research and look that up and see what's going on. So the other companies are not really at that level yet. They say they're about to put it out. They just haven't. So I have highway assist, which is just like it goes faster or slower depending on the cars, and it keeps you in the lane. So I turn that on the drive home. It's like midnight, and the car tells you like, oh, you have 80 miles. No, it'll say you'll have. It said, what did it say? It said you'll have 60 something miles left when you get home. That's what it's saying, to your destination. So I put it on highway assist. I'm driving, pretty much the speed limit. We're having a leisurely drive, and then what I noticed was that number started to go up. it said, it was like 60, then it was like 70. And we made it all the way home, and it said, oh, you have 87 miles left on the car. So I drove all the way to San Diego, drove around, drove all the way back, and still had like 87 miles left on the car to do whatever the hell I wanted to do with. And I just no anxiety at all. So, I mean, I just feel like that's where the world needs to go. We need to get to a point where there's no range anxiety. You can drive anywhere you want, fast charging, I see somebody in the chat talking about a long way to go. Hydrogen cars are the future. Yeah, I agree. I think that there has to be a different type of low resources technology. I was talking to another guy. I went to a buddy of mine's birthday party, and there was like a nerd engineer there, and he was telling me that the lithium batteries that we're using right now would be equivalent to, if you think about TVs, he said, these batteries that we're using for these electric cars are like tube televisions, but then 4K plasmas are around the corner. So all the technology that they're putting out on these EV cars is like really not the best technology in terms of the battery. And around the corner, the better batteries are going to be here, but it's going to be too late because hundreds of thousands of cars are going to be on the road with these sort of shitty batteries. And so it's like, who knows where it's going to go, I mean, I think hybrid technology might be the best. Like, I started to think like, yeah, it's like we're talking about electric cars, EV. What about just making better gas cars? So what about cars that get, 80 miles a gallon? What about that? Like, where are those? Like, why haven't we? Is that even possible? Or some sort of electric gas technology where with a little bit of gas and better batteries, we could go, 1,500 miles and on one, charge, one tank. I mean, that's where they're going to have to go with it. But it was cool. I'm just saying that I didn't have any range anxiety. I mean, so shout out to the Lucid. I mean, it's like, and they're not a paid sponsor or anything like that, man. I'm paying an arm and a leg for this car, but I'm just letting you know right now, it's a really nice car. Actually, if anybody's interested in getting a Lucid, I actually do have that. What's crazy is they do have like a referral program, I should put that on. I'm gonna put this on this episode in the notes. I'm gonna put the notes so if you're someone, because I think you can get some money off by using my code, and then I get points towards a sweatshirt or some nonsense like that. So if you're interested in getting a Lucid or one of the, I do suggest you go check it out, because they got this SUV that they're coming out with, man, that looks dope. It's called the Gravity. And it is really sweet, man. You see the Gravity and you're like, oh man, I wish I would have, it's actually cheaper than my car. I wish, I'm like, I wish the Gravity was available, when I was going to get this, man, because this shit is dope. Wait, I'm using the wrong email. Sorry guys, hold up a second. Let me just get into this. And everybody listening, thank you for listening. All you truck drivers, all the people that are just on the road at work, looking to listen into something as you're just doing your daily routine. I appreciate you guys as well. What's going on here, man? Why isn't this working? I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to sign into my stupid account to get this thing, and it's like it won't work, Oh well. I don't know why this isn't working, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'll put it in the chats. I'll put it in the chat later. Let's see. What's going on? Oh, let's go to this week's comments. So that's all I had to really say about the Lucid. So, everybody's always asking about this, Bobby Lee and Steve. Look, I'm gonna get Steve back on the podcast, and maybe Bobby will come. I don't know. Everybody's just busy, man. It was fun times. That was episode 11 of my podcast. Was those guys? It was great, but I wanted to do it more often, but just people got busy, man. All right, so let's see. Brandy Thomas 09 said, I saw your show in my hometown Escondido last weekend and you killed it. I was the woman with the sisters worried about when I'm getting married. Highlight was seeing Rachel there. Absolutely love you guys. Yeah, I brought Rachel on stage. It was kind of cool. You know, she was there. Everybody loved it. So thanks, man. Joseph RZ7PQ said, you're the man, Eric. Spelled my name wrong. I like your advice. I appreciate it. Let's see. All right, where are we at here? All right, so Poop and Shine Span. Well, you guys use stupid names, man. Yeah, man, people don't seem to understand that comedy is a great coping mechanism. With all the negativity in the world, we need people like you. Comedians are like therapists sometimes. Keep up the good work, Griff. Because last week I just wanted to go into like, I was on stage with Matt Rife, and then like this lady, in the crowd, she goes, we're taking a break from the hospital. She yells out this information. So I, casually ask, like, well, what do you do at the hospital? And she's like, well, my kid has cancer. So then I make a joke about her, really. And of course, it's just idiot upon idiot upon idiot who is like, oh man, that's not funny. It's like it actually was a weird response, considering that there's video evidence of the mother clapping and laughing. You know what I'm saying? So that's what when I look back on it, even this week, when I look back at some of the comments about it and everything, I think to myself, wow, like people really do just want to be negative, or just want to, like, there's no nuance. There's no thought process. There's no like, hey, let me think this through. No, it's just like initial reaction. They would, oh, I got to get on the internet and let people know that I'm a good person, Then they just look, you look dumb. You look dumb. Okay. Anyways, thanks for that. And then of course, more comments on my Matt Rife interview from episode 23 when he wasn't famous. This interview is the best. Let's see. Then last week I had like sound issues, so people were commenting on that. Let's see. Big Juicy 5371. I absolutely love you, man. My favorite comedian. Well, I appreciate that. When you're somebody's favorite anything, that's pretty cool. Thrits1. Thanks for playing devil's advocate with the cancel culture stuff. Hate when people blindly believe the alleged victims just because of hearsay. Very dangerous thing to do that can ruin someone's life. I think you should need hard proof to come out against someone, because if not, it ends up not being true. There's still a lot of damage that has already been done that can't be taken back. Yeah, the way the guy put that is like, I agree. I like right now, this is what I don't like. I wish there was follow-up, okay? So like, for instance, Jamie Foxx is somebody that like they just, there was an article that it came out. It was on the news press, Jamie Foxx being accused of whatever, right? Now, all of a sudden, you don't hear any follow-up. There's nothing. So you put that out there. People read that headline, and people believe what they see. They're like, oh, well, he must be guilty, and that's the end of it. So they've already put that out there and tarnished his reputation. But we don't know what happened with that case. I don't know. Could it, there are frivolous lawsuits. So, this does feel like a cash grab for some people, But anyways, regardless, everything that's happening with all these lawsuits coming out, So then there's never any follow-up. There's never any like later article where they were like, yeah, it turns out that case was thrown out, or there wasn't enough facts in the case. But no, it's just like, ooh, here's something. Let's try to get clicks, put this out. And then it's like, okay, move on. And then they never think that is there no responsibility to follow up with information? I think that's what we're missing in some of these things. Even for like, I think too, for the victims as well. I'm not just saying this as like people getting blamed of things they didn't do and their life being ruined. I think for the victims, they need a little bit of like, yeah, let people know that we have evidence, and yes, it is okay for you to come out and look what happened. I did this. The guy's being, prosecuted or whatever. There should be follow up for both sides. So I don't know. Monster0033 said, are you and Rachel worried at all about raising a child with the way our country is nowadays? Have you and Rachel had any talks about this sort of thing? That's from, again, Monster03033. Yeah, I do think about this, actually. I do think about, I am thinking about the world in a completely different way now that I have a kid coming. I am thinking about what's going on in schools. I do think about religion. I do think about, the cancel culture, the wokeness and all that, all this sort of cause me, I feel like I'm a pretty reasonable guy and I just want things to make sense, make it make sense. Let's talk about it, but let's not blindly do stuff. Like, I don't like some of the things I'm hearing that's going on in public schools and stuff like that. So I actually don't know. Hopefully by the time my kid is ready for school, it'll be different. But yeah, it is and by the way, I'm not, I don't have the doomsday attitude of this guy of our whole country is going to hell. It's I don't believe that either. That seems very extreme, but it is a fair thing to talk about, that there are things that I don't necessarily like, even as an artist, man. I've talked about it before, but it's what happened to artistic integrity, man? Storytelling. It's all of this, it's you watch something and you feel the diversity meaning everything you watch, and it's diversity with no common sense, or diversity with no purpose, diversity with you go well, why is that person that looks like that in this situation? It don't make sense. It's they think we're stupid or something, or that we're gonna completely. That's what good storytelling is. You get lost in the story, right? You watch a movie and you're supposed to get lost in it. How can you get lost in it when all you see is you're well, wait, it's then what's the point of casting? I remember when I booked Workaholics. So the moment I booked Workaholics, they started looking for a kid that looked like me. Why would they do that? I remember the casting director put out so on the casting call, it would be a picture of me. And then they would say to all the agents, do you have kid clients that look like this guy? You know why? Because that makes sense. We're trying to tell a make-believe story that I have a kid, so they want the kid to look like me. So then when you're watching it, you don't even think about that, because you're just oh yeah, he could be his kid. Or, it just it helps the story. Nowadays, they just think let's just, make it diverse, make it anyone, you know what I mean? So then now it's my kid looks like they're from, China or something, and then they don't realize that our minds go, oh, well, did he adopt this kid? Or it's just that's what happens. It's just just have shit make sense first. Tell the story and tell it right visually. Everything, every aspect of the story, let's make it make sense. That's all we want, along with, so it's not just oh, let's just throw some diversity in. No, it's tell a story about a black family. It doesn't have to be well, let's tell a story about a family that just happens to have a black person in it, or, it's it's all mixed up. And it's what are we talking about? What are you doing? It's such pandering nonsense, and it's you know what it really is too? Insulting. It's insulting when you watch this as a consumer, because you're just oh man, this doesn't even make sense, right? It doesn't make sense. Just make it make sense. My God. Anyways, yeah, a little bit of rambling, because my mind is I was on a podcast before this too. Look for me on that podcast. Ninja, the gamer, he has a podcast, Tyler. Great guy, dude. We had a nice long hour-long talk, and then that's why I'm late doing this one. So it is what it is. Okay, now let's go to our sponsor, everybody. I got to get back. I got to pay the bills. We got to pay the bills. So I want to thank, once again, DoorDash, our good buddies over at DoorDash. Are you ready to deck your doorsteps with savings? From December 1st to the 12th, celebrate the season with 12 days of deals on DoorDash. Oh, that's great. 12 days of deals. Get gifts, groceries, meals, and more, and make holiday miracles look easy. Celebrate with the holiday savings and deck the doorsteps with DoorDash from December 1st to the 12th. So look out for that, guys. Need a little help with that holiday season? Let DoorDash be your destination for holiday deals, special offers, and everyday miracles. Looking to save even more as a Dash Pass member, and I'm a Dash Pass member. It's great. I suggest you do this. You can enjoy exclusive offers and perks all season long. You'll get 0 delivery fee and reduced service fees on all orders too. Order now and enjoy holiday savings with DoorDash. Use code RWGHoliday to get 50% off up to $10 value when you spend $15 or more at convenience, groceries, or select retail stores on DoorDash. That's code RWGHoliday. Terms apply. You could see all that on the notes there. The notes, like the edit of, on the description part of Riffin with Griffin. So anyways, guys, what else is going on? So you guys know that the SAG deal has been struck. So we did it, right? I've been talking about the SAG deal for a while. So they had yesterday we had to vote to ratify it, or if they didn't, we would have struck it. We would have stayed on strike, which would have just been a nightmare. But it looked like it was I believe it was 78% of the people voted, people that voted yes. I mean, it tells me that I feel like in 3 years, let me get that off the screen. I feel like in 3 years, we're going to strike again. That's what it feels like to me. I don't know. I don't know if this was all great. So so let's see. So here's some of the things about the SAG deal that I thought that are some key points, for anybody that's interested, if you're an actor or you're you've been hearing about this because it's affected so many people. But some of the points that they have in the SAG deal that are great are the wage increases, new streaming bonuses, and limits on self-tapes. Okay. Self-tapes, I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be one that they're going to actually enforce. I mean, it's like this SAG rule in commercials where they're not supposed to, they're supposed to pay you when you improv at a commercial. Okay. So, cause that's like writing. So if I'm going into a commercial audition and there's a script and then I go off script and I make this super funny and whatever, then oh, that's great. And maybe they end up using that, or it's that helps the whatever in the process. They're supposed to pay you. I've never gotten paid for that. They just never say the words improv. They always go, make it your own. Make it your own. The words are fine, but if you want to make it your own. So, and I don't know one person that has ever challenged it in 20 years, whatever, since this rule has been a rule. I don't know one person that has been hey man, I didn't get paid for improving, because who wants to be that guy, right? I kind of feel like this self-tapes thing is going to be one of those too. I don't think that's going to be one people are going to fight over. But anyways, actors will get a hike in basic wage minimums for a variety of projects. Okay, well that's kind of nice. Whatever that, it's actually the minimum's not that high. It's it's a lot. So if it was $700 a day, I guess you're going to get an increase. Let's see what else were some of the key points here. The pension got better. Well, that's good. I'm older, so that's great. Excuse me. AI protection. Quite an accomplishment, this article says. I think the AI was a smokescreen, but I guess it is going to be something that's going to be a big deal later. I just think that, sell your likeness. I think you should own you. It seems to me like it's simple. This is my likeness. This is my voice. If you want to use it, pay me. Why is that? I think that's why they were using that as a smokescreen when the real issue was the money. But anyways, they got a major thing because it says one major sticking point in negotiations has been the proliferation of tech like AI. The new contract creates protections around various scenarios in which tech would come into play. It's like they wanted to take video or scan background artists and then use them forever without paying them. I mean, doesn't that just sound ridiculous? Let's see, what else did they? I mean, there was just a lot of the deals with the they got more money from the of the residuals, but I don't know if that's even gonna go into play. I just don't know, man. I don't know if the what do you call it? We're gonna ever hit these milestones. I don't know if we're gonna hit them. It's like with the Riders one, it was like 30 million. Like if the project is a $30 million project, that's when they'll be like, okay, so now we're gonna look at bonus residuals. Well, I just feel like Netflix and all these places are gonna be like, all right, here's $29,999 to make your project. Done. All right, let's see what this thing says here about because my website didn't give me enough information. I thought it did. SAG deal details. Okay. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, so wage increase, 7% basic minimum increase, 3.5 increase, in July 2025. Background actors will see 11% increase. Oh, well, that's nice if you want to be a background actor. Actors on the most successful streaming show will receive a bonus based on a formula tied to the show's revenue. So that's what it is right there. It's that formula. What is that formula? I don't know. 75% of the bonus will go to actors on the top shows, with the remaining 25% distributed to actors on less successful shows. Well, that's nice too, because maybe you have a good show, but you're not getting a lot of viewership, but it's a great show, but your show's still on the platform, so that's good. Like I said, all the AI restrictions that they got in there. Outsized compensation increase for background performers, critical contract provisions protecting diverse communities. Oh boy. I don't know what that means. Increased funding for residuals and other programs. So it seems like it's a win, but we'll see in like 3 years, because in 3 years, that's when they're going to be like, I don't know. That's when everybody's going to be complaining again. So we'll see what's going on with that. All right, this is going to be a short episode, so we're going to finish off with I don't know if you guys know, but I do game, Erik Griffin Gaming on Twitch. I'm on there daily, Erik Griffin Gaming, and I like to put some of my videos up on Erik Griffin Gaming on YouTube. But one of the games I love to play, it's one of my favorite games ever of all time. It's actually number one all time, that I like to play. I used to love Destiny. Used to be my favorite. It used to be Destiny and FIFA were my favorite games to play ever. And then Destiny kind of got weird, and then I started playing these Battle Royale games, and I started playing Call of Duty, and I've never looked back. It's so awesome. So what happened recently is today, the new Warzone map has come out. So Call of Duty Warzone, I believe, is it called Warzone 3? Or is it Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3? Is that what it is? Yeah. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 is out. So this is the nerd section of the podcast. So I don't know if you're interested in this kind of thing, but I am. For all the people that follow my podcast and my gaming, I know you are too. But Season 1, Warzone, new Warzone map, new movement, new everything, and not new everything. And these are the Season 1 patch notes here on Riffin with Griffin. So basically, the game's out. I love the new map. I'm not mad at the new map. It looks great. I think it's a combination of the first map that they came out with in Verdansk and a little bit of this new map, Al Mazrah, with a little bit of spacing of Caldera. The leaves and the world and the cinematography of the map. It looks pretty good. And so then they got these new weapons and stuff, right? So here's the new map, and it's called Yurzakistan, like some made up country. So this is the new map, and it's pretty extensive map. Like, it's a pretty big map, not gonna lie. Look at that. Lots of buildings and nooks and crannies. There's a few open areas in there, but for the most part, I think this is I think it's a pretty good map. I think they did a pretty good job. I mean, there are some like pretty bad maps, like Ashika Island. This is one of the maps, pretty trash. You know, and I thought Caldera was trash. I didn't like that map either. But this map, I think is pretty good. I think it gives a throwback to if you were a big fan of the Verdansk map, this is pretty good. So, you know, in the gameplay, you know, the game slowed down in Warzone 2. It was very slow, but you got used to it. We've been playing it for almost, you know, a year and a half, whatever it is. And so now they got, you know, the maps back. So there's new stuff. There's new stuff in this map. So now you could do the zip lines again. There's like zip lines going from building to building. The animation and graphics are great on that. You know, I love that. There's new buildings. Like they said, the traits are fewer buildings, wide open fields, river access, little whatever that is, verticality, long range advantage. I mean, there's a lot of stuff, man. I mean, the map looks great, you know. I'm not mad at, like, they're just showing you some of the areas. Actually, I see it. Okay, so they got like, and there's a lot of water, there's a lot of castles, there's a lot of like areas you have to climb. There's like, you know, these flat areas, like good fighting can go on during all these things. So I love all this stuff, all the cranes and stuff that you could climb on. Yeah, it's pretty good. Like, I'm not mad at this map at all. So if you've never played it, it's free to play. So you can download Warzone and just play it. You know, I love downtown areas. So they call it Zaravan City, whatever. And then, you know, I always like to say one of these buildings is Griff Tower. So Griff Tower is in the back there. You got to go to Erik Griffin Gaming to watch me play. But like the rooftops and gardens and all this kind of stuff is great, man. And then there's a new Gulag map, real simple Gulag map. The Gulag is, for people that don't know, is like when you die, you get one chance to come back. You go in a one-on-one matchup against someone, and they have these little mini maps. And you guys, whoever wins, they get to you know, fly back into the game. So that's pretty good. But you know, the thing that I don't like is, and the thing is, like I haven't played the game, you know, for many years. Like people that go back to Call of Duty in the past, because all the kids that come into my chat, they're always like, this is an old map, like on the multiplayer version. So, you know, to me, this is all new, but I'm noticing that like they do, now I'm starting to see that they're repeating a lot of things. So I don't know. So, you know, when you drop in on a battle royale, there's 100 player count, which I think is pretty nice. You know, the new map size of the new map is around 20% smaller than Al Mazrah. Oh, it's smaller. Faster match time at 20 minutes. Oh, okay. So you can get more games in. And then they had this thing called Resurgence, is another great game. So we'll see. Oh, wow. The returning maps, Ashika Island, Vondel. I hope that they said they were going to do the other maps. So we'll see what's going on with that. Then they have some other dumb games. But for the most part, what I don't like is these weapons. So all these weapons are trash. Just FYI, they're all trash. They need to work on them. They need to work on the damage profiles with people that are wearing plates. I think some of the new guns are just absolutely unusable. But one of my key points that I love about the new game is that they didn't just get rid of the old game. They didn't get rid of the old game. So the new game, you know, it's still, you still have the guns from the game before, which I think is great, because you buy blueprints, you pay for things, you know what I mean? Like you're paying for stuff, you know, you're buying skins, and then a new game comes out and you're like, wait a minute, what happened to my $30 I paid for this battle pass that you're asking for? And so now they're like, okay, I hear you. You can, you know, keep everything that you had before, and we'll just add new stuff. So I do like that. And there's a lot of little things that are going to work on, but for the most part, I'm about to get on right now. I'm going to get on in like 5 minutes, but then I also have a workout, because I got to go to my workout at 6. Got to walk over to the gym and do my workout. But for the most part, I think this new Warzone is pretty good, and I'll be on there. You guys can watch me play Warzone for a little while, me and my crew. But yeah, so, and you know what? And to talk about my workout journey, that's been going great too, guys. Thanks for asking. I feel myself stronger. Like, So the first time I went in to do the workouts, it was like to do like the sit-up exercises. It was really hard. But then the last time I went in, I was doing the exercise and I felt myself like, oh, I can really do this now. So now he's increasing the stuff that I'm doing, but I feel stronger. I feel better. Yesterday, I got back on my rowing machine that I have here. I have a hydro rowing machine. So I'm doing the hydro on my off days. And I was trying to get up early and do that, like just try to do it every day, even if I'm going to the workout, especially if I'm working out at night. Like right today I have a late night, like a later in the evening workout as opposed to getting up early in the morning. So I feel like what I need to do is like get up early in the morning, get on my rowing machine, and even if I have to go do a workout later that night, so I'm kind of doing like double cardio and all that kind of stuff. So workout's going good. I can feel it in my face too. I always lose weight or gain weight in my face first. The hard part is the midsection, but you know, it is what it is. I let myself go. So I was living my best life, y'all. Living my best life. So you know, if you're out there and you're trying to get on your workout journey, I have it on my Instagram. I've said this on my Instagram, but I'll say it again here too. Is that listen, man? You know, we all want to look good naked. I mean, that's initially our goal in the back of our minds, no matter what you're saying to yourself, you know, whatever. Oh, I want to be healthy. No. We all think we want to like be at our most optimal looking self. That's really hard to do. That takes an amount of commitment and effort that it's hard. You need to know how hard that is, because what happens is when you don't achieve that right away, you tend to be like, oh, well, then what's the point of doing this? And you stop working out. I realized for me, my workout right now is about how I feel. It's about my heart health. It's about getting my fluids flowing, and so I can, you know, no more brain fog and all the kind of things that come with aging and come with like lack of movement. So this little bit of exercising you could do of like just even if it's going on a 20-minute walk or whatever you could do for yourself, it isn't just about how your body's going to look so much as how it's going to make you feel. And that you could continue. That is something that is achievable, and it's achievable every single day. Every single day it's achievable. Now, if you want to go further than that and you want to like get muscles and you want to like those kind of things, those are goals that are going to take a lot more work, but know the difference between the two so you're not letting yourself down. You're not like, this is too hard. And just remember how that feels after a good workout, how great you feel, or like when you're sleeping better. You know what I mean? It's like all the things that exercise and activity are good for, and I'm all about that. I'm on that train right now, and I just want all of you to get on the same train with me, guys. So, yeah, man, that's what we're doing here. Let's get my headphones back on because we're getting to that time right now. We're getting to that time, the Riffin with Griffin end. I am gonna, I'm really starting to think about like how I want to rebrand the podcast, because I think this is what I think I'm gonna do, guys. For the people that are still listening, other people else that checked out, like, what the hell is this rambling old man doing? But I think I'm going to do, like, for my main podcast will be my movie reviews, television show reviews, and whatever little entertainment news that goes with those shows and things like that. And then I'll have my shorter ranting with Riffin when you know how I like to talk about different subjects and stuff like that. And I think I will do that for, my Patreon, for my subscribers on Twitch, for my YouTube members, and those kinds of things. And I'll just maybe put out one or two of those in the month on my website at the end of the month. But if you want to see those things live and that kind of stuff, when it first comes out, you have to go on that. So then because I need to rebrand. You know what I mean? And I'm getting up on now. This is like episode 260. 260 episodes, man. 260 episodes. That's a lot. So I started doing the podcast. At first because it was like, oh man, you do a podcast. Everybody's got a podcast. Everybody's podcast blows up. And then it just got to a thing where it was just really too hard for me personally to get guests. And then COVID hit, And it's like, and then that was like 5, you know, if you think about it, COVID was like 5 years ago now. Like 2019, 2021, 22, we're going on 24. 5 years ago. That's crazy to think about, right? And it's just like I haven't really recovered in a way that I wanted to. And now I'm having a baby and I don't want people coming to my place. So it's like a whole thing. And I have to decide, like, do I really even want to do this? I enjoy doing my podcast and I enjoy the people that listen and hit me up and give me, feedback. And I love that. But it's like at a certain point, you just go like, well, what am I doing? So I need to find the purpose of why I'm doing this again. And, make it bigger and better. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's all. That's all I have to say about that, guys. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys for always being here, being supportive. Let me find my music. You know, if you want to send, the guys when they want to send, beats, all those great producers out there. So many awesome producers, man, that send me, like, I have a whole folder full of just like songs from when I first started doing the podcast. So shout out to all those people. Like, there's some really good stuff on here. Like, I remember my guy Bugs. Oh, I haven't used one of his songs in a while. So let me see if I. Oh man. Riffin with Griffin, y'all. Remember, hit the subscribe button. Twitch. Woo, and Patreon. Word is born. Listen to Riffin with Griffin. Drove to San Diego in my Lucid. Nothing rhymes with Lucid. With my old school raps, bring it back. Warzone map. SAG did it. We lit it. Did it. With the fitty. Anyways, y'all. Thanks for listening to Riffin with Griffin. And I'll see you next week. Make sure you move your feet with that what? Skiddly-dee-dee-dee. See you next week.